Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be talking about The Heirs episode 9 and 10. And in episode 8 you saw that Youngdo was calling Eun-sung's phone and Kim Tan was saying, don't pick up, I'm gonna go nuts if you pick up. So she picks it up anyways, and so to stop her from talking to Youngdo, he goes in for the kiss, and that's episode 8. At the end of episode 8 they kiss, so there's finally some skinship, there's like the whole smooch fest. And I don't feel like it was like a super passionate kiss, maybe on Lee Min-ho's part, but Park Shin-hye was kind of like not really into it. But I guess that was maybe her character. She was surprised and she was kind of like, what's going on? So honestly, I didn't think it was like the best kiss on Park Shin-hye's part, but I really liked it from Lee Min-ho. I really felt like it was more passionate, kind of definitely heartfelt. So A+ to Lee Min-ho going in for the kill. After the kiss scene, Youngdo's still trying to call her. Kim Tan's like, where he picks up her phone and she just runs away. And she actually runs into Rachel's character in the bathroom, and Rachel's like mad. She like actually grabs Eun-sung's hair and like, and Crystal's like, what's going on? Knock it off. And then Rachel's like, Youngdo and Kim Tan are fighting over you. What's going on? What's happening? And it really is just kind of like a brutal fight scene between the two guys, because they're actually pretty big guys, and for them to like roll around and fight over it, it's not a good thing. And so they get in trouble and they have to do like, penance for it, like, which is basically cleaning up. And then they're kind of like fighting, bickering back and forth with each other because neither one of them want to clean up. And they're actually just kind of poking at each other, like Youngdo saying, how's your mistress mom? And then you kind of see flashback scenes here and there, kind of like showing the two of them when they were friends, but how Youngdo's dad is bringing mistresses back at the hotel or apartment or wherever, and kind of just that heaviness and sadness that Youngdo feels. And so, yeah, that's definitely not a good thing. So yeah, because of the fighting and Eun-sung just feeling bullied all the way around, not just by Youngdo, but just other people in the school, like Rachel, she skipped school the next day. And so Kim Tan is worried, Youngdo's worried, and Kan Min-hyuk's character is worried. And finally, Kim Tan gets a hold of Kan Min-hyuk's character, and he tells him that Eun-sung usually likes to go to a free movie place and kind of just like hang out there. So Kim Tan follows her around, and there's the Dreamcatcher windows shop. And so basically they get into it when he finally gets a hold of her and she realizes he's there. And Eun-sung is basically saying, it might be fun for you to maybe date me, but I would lose everything. My mom and I would be kicked out on the street, so please leave us alone. And then he gets all mad, like, doesn't my feelings count for anything? Can't you trust me? But how is she gonna trust a high schooler? It's like, is he willing to give up everything at such a young age to go off and hang out with her and be boyfriend and girlfriend? It doesn't seem very realistic. And so she's much more realistic, and Kim Tan's head is in the clouds. But who knows, maybe he can work something out with his dad. Kind of doubt it, because Rachel's in the scene. And then you see like her kind of not back at school yet, but at her part-time job, and being bullied by these boys who want to get her phone number. And then Youngdo actually stops them from bullying her, because really he wants to be the only one to bully her. It's like his pet project or something, who knows. And then so she's not really grateful about it, because it's like, you're her #1 tormentor. Then you go to a scene where the best friends forever, the moms, are like trying to help each other out. And then so basically Kim Tan's mom, who's the mistress and who can never go to these PTA meetings, steps in for Eun-sung's mom, who can't speak and is like the house servant, goes in and is like blows all of these hoity-toity women out of the water, one with just an amazing car that she shows up with, then her killer outfit, and then of course the bag that only 20 people in the entire world were able to get, and like most of these women couldn't get it, and so it was like this big hoo-ha deal. But then Kim Tan's mom runs into the stepmom, the first wife, and she's not having it. She's like, you're gonna ruin it for Rachel and Kim Tan's marriage, because Rachel's mom is at this PTA meeting. So she runs off, and yeah. So then the next day In-sung is again bullied by these girls, but then it's like stopped because Young-do stops him, and then all of these rumors about how Kim Tan's mom, who was pretending to be In-sung's mom, comes in and basically blows the whole PTA thing out of the water, and all of these people now want to be In-sung's friend because the mom is so rich, or something very, very superficial like that. So episode 9 kind of leaves off with Young-do and Kim Tan at Kim Tan's house, and how Young-do's just being mean to Kim Tan's real mom, and then basically Kim Tan's like, you know what, whatever, this is my real mom, stop treating her like a servant. And then Young-do's like pretty happy about that. Kim Tan's mom is actually really unhappy about it because it's basically blowing the cover and like bringing all the dirty little secrets to light. But then what kind of is really making Young-do happy is like In-sung walks up at that exact moment, and basically, you know, a girl's not supposed to just show up at somebody's house, so that's kind of awkward moment there. So then there's more just heartfelt conversations between Kim Tan and In-sung's character about how In-sung's saying, you know, we can't be together, can you just like leave me alone because you're making my life a lot harder at school because, you know, people don't like you, Kim Tan, and so because they can't touch him, he's basically untouchable, they're gonna come after In-sung. So she's like trying to get him to realize, you know, I can be hurt just by being your friend or your girlfriend. And so, you know, then Kim Tan, to, I don't know, prove a point, drives past her in the morning saying, you know, something to the driver, we can't be together, why would you even suggest that I would pick her up, you know, get a clue or catch a clue. And so they drive off, and she's kind of like left there walking to school. And then towards the end, like in the school day, you see In-sung at the rooftop where they kissed, and she's like reminiscing, and then like Kim Tan's there reminiscing on his own, and so he pops up, and then she's there, and then they kind of lock eyes, and then, you know, she runs away because it's an awkward moment. And then of course there's like a test that she's been studying for, and Young-do just basically just kind of goes through the whole thing and just picks A all the way down. And then Kim Tan, who I think was actually trying to, you know, do okay on the test, he actually scores worse than Young-do, who's not even trying at all. But then Kim Tan is embarrassed, and so as In-sung is trying to go and look at her test score, he's like, and then you cut to another scene where it's showing that, you know, all these people are going to this camping senior trip or what have you, and Young-do wasn't going to go originally, but now that In-sung's going, he's like, oh, I'm going to go too. And then Kim Tan's like, I'm still not going to go. I want In-sung to miss me and all of this other stuff. And that's when he was talking to Hyo-shin about how he almost tried to commit suicide back in the day in LA, and, you know, hopefully he'll never do this again. Of course, Hyo-shin is, you know, a focal point because he's kind of in this triangle with, you know, Kim Won and the girlfriend, who is, we just found out, was an orphan and was like this scholarship child. But what I actually really liked was Hyunju and Hyo-shin, you know, because they're no longer student-tutor relationship, he's like, follows her home or finds out where she lives, and this was right after Kim Won's like, you know, I can't make it to our date, so she's like, I guess we just broke up. And she knew like all along that they were gonna break up because he's worried about being the heir to this Jaeguk fortune empire, and you know, she would be like just this orphan mistress girl while he has to marry somebody like amazing and great so that they can have more conglomerates and what have you. So Hyo-shin kind of like swoops in, and he's like, basically, well, you're not my tutor anymore. And so he gives her a goodnight kiss, and then when he turns away, he's like, you know, kind of like, you know, what did I just do? And she's just kind of shocked. And I actually thought that that was a very sweet, cute scene. I wish there could be more interaction, but because there's so many different like characters that are in this huge The Heirs K-drama, it's hard to get any storyline really developed besides Young-do, Kim Tan, and In-sung, and some Rachel. Because even Crystal from FX and Kang Min-hyuk's character, they don't have that much interaction either. Except when you get to the paintball scene. And the paintball scene was actually really funny because I think they were trying to reenact different really famous movies. And so like Crystal and Kang Min-hyuk's character were doing this like dying for each other thing, and which was kind of cute. And then Young-do like comes across In-sung's character, and then basically he's like, you know, I really like you, I'm gonna take pity on you and what have you, and then she just shoots him. I thought that was really funny. So at the very end of all of this, In-sung is now calling Kim-tan for some reason, and then Rachel comes across this and she like checks the phone. When she sees that he's trying to call, she's calling Kim-tan, she like basically smacks her. And then, you know, In-sung was like, well, now that you hit me, I think I really will try to, you know, do something that actually warrants a hit. So she's kind of trying to call him again. Rachel goes back in for the swoop, but then Young-do grabs her arm so she can't hit him. And then Young-do and Rachel are like, you know, like bickering. And then Young-do is like, basically, In-sung's mine, I'm the only one who can pick on her, which is weird. But then, you know, Rachel then walks away. And then it's just Young-do and In-sung kind of like having some moment together, and then you see Kim-tan kind of like calling on the phone and walking up to the scene, and basically Young-do's like, you're mine, and just to prove it, and you know, you don't know how far I'll go, he smothers her in this embrace while Kim-tan's watching, and In-sung doesn't even know what's going on because her back's to Kim-tan. And that's where we're left off with episode 10. But stay tuned and I'll see you then. Bye-bye.